So, as the shills, as they always do, Jayoe Matt put up a video that could raise a little stink. And because he's afraid, they're all afraid. The Barretts, all these shills are always afraid. I'm going to say that again. You guys are afraid to put out videos that could cause you issues. And that's why you continue to take them down. But, as I've always done, your good old pal, Prime in China, I save those videos. And I like to put them back up for you. Because I'm just such a good friend. So, let's go ahead and look over this video and see what went wrong.
No foreigners allowed. We're not allowed to do it. Nope, nope. We traveled, actually, the trip we were originally on was supposed to allow for the mountain experience, but they apparently took it off the schedule. Not sure why, but maybe I'm a little sure why.
No. They didn't take the mountain off the schedule. They took you off the schedule. You see, Chinese people are still climbing up this mountain. Again, Chinese people, aka not you. In the video, they even said multiple times that other people, including taxi drivers, have told them that foreigners are not allowed. That's why. Because of your face and your skin color. I'm glad that you're finally seeing this racism that you guys have been saying doesn't exist in China.
Anyways, I'm with Mexicanos in China, and this is Noel. How are you feeling right now? Are you
about this thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is not so great. You know, guys.
Yeah.
They're just not letting us in because they have no other reason to tell us.
Yeah.
Now, the reason is because they don't want to tell you the truth. And that is that you are banned solely upon the fact that you're a foreigner. And I hope throughout this video, you're going to see that over and over. They've literally picked you out based upon your skin color, your ethnicity, and said, no, you are not Chinese. You are not going up this mountain.
Oh, we've talked to the higher people involved. We've talked to everybody. We have been squawking and trying to get the one exception. If we were able to go on this mountain, we would be, sorry about the shakes. If we could go on this mountain, we would be one of the few people that would be foreigners. Because I'll tell you what.
I like how Jayoe somehow acts like they're special. You know, that they deserve to go even though they're foreigners. But they're also even more special than other foreigners because they have some kind of government connections. You know, that's a major problem with all these guys, is they think that they're some high-level people, that they're special just because they're foreigners, and that China's just their playground. It's a communist country. You're not special there. In fact, they don't even like you.
The situation is, I'm sitting in the road. The situation is, the trip had the ability to go to Huashan, and we were going to spend a day there. But then the Huashan part of the trip fell off. It just disappeared.
Really? It fell off? It disappeared? Is the mountain still there, or did it disappear? No, quite obviously, they just banned you. I'm sure the mountain's fine. I'm sure it's going to be fine for a long time. But you know what? You ain't going up that mountain, are you? Nope.
Show them some of your... You know what? I have a COVID test and I have a nucleic acid test. Both of them show that I have no antibodies and I'm currently not with COVID.
Even more evidence that this is not based upon any kind of virus. This is just based upon the skin color and just the overall fact that they are foreigners. And Jayoe hates to say it. He hates to admit it. That it is all about the fact that he's a foreigner. You see, these people have been so brainwashed into thinking that China is such a wonderful country that they hate to be critical of it at all. to the point that they're even afraid. Again, these people are afraid.
The trip has been interesting, but we wanted to do the Huashan, so the organizers helped us to extend our flights. So we moved our flights back one full day. They wouldn't cover the hotel expenses, so we had to pay another day. It was about 400 RMB to extend one more day. So we actually had to extend, every one of us had to extend one more day. And then we took a train, fast train, to the train station here in Huashan, and then took a bus to Huashan. And as soon as we got off, people were like, "What are you doing here? Foreigners aren't allowed. You're not allowed."
He says organizers. By this he means people affiliated, with the state-run media, the state-run travel bureau, and he, does the air quotes for helped us, they helped you. He said they wouldn't cover the hotel expenses, which means quite obviously he's complaining about, the fact that they didn't cover it, but before it was covered, but they didn't want to extend it just one more day. Oh man, they're so cheap. Basically, he's bitching and complaining that they paid for his trip, but they wouldn't extend it for one more day.
How's it going?
So we're out.
So what's going?
Are we? So basically, because we are foreigners, they won't let us up the mountain. That's the top and bottom of it.
Yeah.
We've been here in Xi'an. We've been all around these tourist things, but they ain't letting us go up Huashan. They're basically messing us around at the moment. To be honest. They're using all sorts of excuses.
They're stringing us along.
They're really stringing us along at this point.
I'm of the mind we just need to get out of here, go back to Xi'an, and figure something else out.
What are you doing here? Foreigners aren't allowed, right? That's what people are saying to you. And you expect them to extend it one more day? People literally told you foreigners are not allowed. What don't you understand?
Well, maybe. Let's see. We'll just wait a little longer to see what's going on. But it's real.
Lee and I actually have a bit of an argument, because I'm thinking that the reason that there's no COVID in China is they have all of these systems in place. And some of them aren't fair, some of them are doing what they're supposed to, but there's so many systems you had to make so quick that, you know what we did? We fell through one of the holes.
Well,
and,
I don't know. We're in the city where we've been all the week. We've been to many events, we've been to the Terracotta Soldiers, we've been to other places, we've been mixing with local authority people, all no problem. Until we want to go up the mountains. All of a sudden, there's a problem.
Yeah. We have been everywhere with everybody.
It's got to Friday, and all of a sudden we're COVID dangerous. I don't think so.
Yeah. I could.
Barrett said they won't allow them because they are foreigners, and I'm gonna extend a level of respect here to you, Mr. Barrett, just because you're being honest and you're calling it as it is. And again, that's very respectful. To call it as it is. He's saying, hey, they're not allowing us simply because we're foreigners. And I sound like a broken record here, but Jayoe is just so dense. He's just so naive. And as you can see, Jayoe continues. He's really just easily gullible. He's just gullible and swayed so easily. He's like China teacher brand. He doesn't want to admit the truth. Then when Barrett comes along and says it because, oh, hey, it's because we're foreigners, Matt finally agrees, and he's like, we should get out of here, because that's how Jayoe Matt is. He's easily swayed. Like, he believes anyone and everyone. He's a little sheep, you know what I mean? And then he says, we should get out of here. Why? Why would you get out of there? Are you afraid? Is there something to fear? I wonder what that could be. Don't you have freedom of speech in China? Oh, wait, you don't, because it's a communist country.
I can see your point, but I can also sort of it is what it is,
Jayoe trying to turn a negative into a positive. I love when the shills do this. I'm sorry, Jayoe, but racism is never positive. No matter how you want to look at it, it's never positive. And again, Barrett, strong-minded person here. Like him or not, agree or disagree with him, that is your choice. He says, no. That's what he said. No. We've been in this city the entire time. We've been mixing with local authorities, etc., here. You can see that this is how it is in China. Even Daddy Barrett here, someone very pro-China, is again telling it like it is. Okay, he's saying it in a very nice way, but he's saying, this is bullshit. We've been here the entire time, and now all of a sudden we aren't allowed. It's because we're foreigners. And again, I respect that he's at least telling the truth. I 1,000% agree with him. Obviously, it's some blatant racism being done by the upper-handed government. Why would the local government and all these people just have a good time with you? But for some reason, this mountain, just can't do it. Sounds like some uphanded, some above government racism that we're so used to seeing in China. Okay. Then of course, Jayoe just agrees again because he's a sheep, and Daddy Barrett has to be his daddy too. So even Barrett confirms that this is not about COVID.
Oh, there's no more fighting that you can do.
No.
I'm a little I'm a little frustrated with the fact that we were organized on this tour, and now suddenly that nobody knows, nobody has told us about this until we extended our hotel stays, traveled by fast train, came out here, got up at 5 in the morning, drove all the way out here to get up the mountain, and we were told at Huashan that we had this problem. I think this should have been something that was revealed earlier.
You should be frustrated, and you guys act like people like me and Serpent Today and Sea Milk we're just so damn racist, right? For pointing out the exact same things that you guys are pointing out right now, okay? These things have been pointed out by other people for years, and all of a sudden you guys are like, what's going on? This isn't right. And now you guys are finally making it and getting a lot of heat by other Chinese people, by the way.
Oh, look at Max is talking to officials. Look at Max right now, man. He's got some people with cameras on him right now. And police cars. Mine? Okay, I can show them. Just me?
Because you're the only one who has them.
Yeah. Maybe they'll let me up, and then you guys can go.
But they want us to get close to the patrol. They're trying to find an excuse to.
Here. Talk to the people.
Yeah. So. I
Here,
think.
hold it.
Yeah. I think, guys, they might be trying to find an excuse to get us because they want us to get close to the patrol car, and they're not coming here, and they want to see this. But now I'm not sure if I should get close. Like, we are doing nothing. We're just here showing our passports, trying to figure out why we're not allowed to go up. I mean, it makes no sense. What do you think, man? Like, we have our passport, we have our health code, and there's no difference.
The rules are the rules,
I'm just
man.
trying to ask. We're not making any trouble.
Yeah.
You've seen that. We've recorded everything. We're not making any trouble.
Yeah.
We didn't go into the hospital.
Yeah.
Because they're not letting us into the hospital either.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, if we have an accident, if something happens, what do we do? Where do we go?
Yeah.
I mean, we're foreigners. How can we fix that?
Well, I think the whole thing is wrapped around the fact that they know that we want to go to Huashan. We're trying to get an exemption so we can go to Huashan. So, I mean, if we were sick, of course, they would drive us into the hospital and take care of us. But we're not here because we're sick.
Wouldn't that go against the rules?
Yeah.
That would be a contradicting rule. So
yeah,
we're going to show them Matt's results and see if there's any difference between someone who has the results and someone who hasn't.
Yeah.
And let's see what
I say we need to probably leave.
Yeah, probably.
I don't want to kick a fuss up too much more.
Yeah,
this shit makes me nervous. I don't like
it.
This.
Also makes me nervous, and I have to say that I feel a little bit afraid of this because they bring a patrol. There's no need to bring a patrol.
Then just go and say we'll go back to Huashan. Don't even show them the results.
Max is talking to officials. People with cameras. Why do they have out cameras? That's right, so that they can get you guys on video acting a fool and then jail you and deport you and then blame the whole thing on you. Be careful. See, this is not what you want to do in China. The threat is very real. And again, they won't let them into the hospital to confirm their documentation stating that they don't have COVID, okay? Because it's not about COVID. Because they're not going to allow you to prove this type of stuff. Because again, it's not about COVID. It's about the fact that you're a foreigner. And they don't want foreigners on this mountain. For whatever reason it is. Because you're a foreigner. And that's how it is. And then Matt says, I think we should leave. I don't want to kick up a fuss much more. But why, Matt? Why would kicking up a fuss be so dangerous? I mean, here in America we have freedom of speech, right? They must have that in China too. I mean, if you kick up a fuss, I mean, what happens? You know, what are you afraid of? He said, this shit makes me nervous. His friend says, I am afraid. And then Jayoe gets loud and throws his arm up in frustration and says, just tell them we will leave. You see, even Jayoe realizes at this point, this is getting dangerous. That he could be arrested and end up in a gulag. Because if they can disappear some famous Chinese celebrities, they can disappear you too.
That's them right now, talking. And that's a police car. There's cameras, there's people recording everybody in every direction. Look at that shit. That's crazy. You see there's a guy that's filming Noella. And I could see the headline for this being foreigners trying to push to get acceptance on Huashan, you know, and I just don't like that. I don't think that I like that connotation, you know. I don't know. There's rules out there. If we're not allowed because we don't have the right ID, then it is what it is, you know. That's just my personal take.
They've surrounded them and people are filming them. Jayoe gets it now. He says, I don't want to be a part of this. He understands how things get twisted in China and wants none of it. Even though he's a brainwashed little sheep, he still knows the truth deep down. See, he knows at the end of the day that he's still American. A traitor American, but he's still partially American. I'm going to say about, 12%. And then he talks about some ID. No, it's not about ID, bro. It's because you're a foreigner.
Yeah.
Passport, we have, like, you can prove that we've been here for over a year.
Yeah.
We've been here before the situation.
Yeah, long time.
And still we have we've been everywhere. Like the Terracotta Warriors and all these places with government officials, and suddenly we can't go up the mountain.
Yeah.
Not even into the hospital.
I agree that it's hypocritical, but I also... I'm also like, what are you going to do?
Rules are rules. At the same time, you know, this is not fair. This is not fair for us, because if you have this ID but you lost it, okay, you have the right, but we don't even have the right to get, to climb.
Yeah, I guess it's nothing to do with the mountain.
I like how the goofball kid is talking, and Jayoe is just kind of like, yeah, because he realizes this kid is dumb, and he's trying to fight a battle that he's just not going to win. Kid, give it up. You're not going to go to these people and force them into letting you up the mountain because you're such a powerful foreigner. Okay? See, Jayoe agrees that he's being hypocritical, but he has no balls, you know, and Jayoe doesn't want to call it out for what it is. Again, as I've said already 15 times in this video, there's just blatant racism. And when you try to call it out, they silence you. That's what they do in China. They threaten you, they silence you, they throw you in jail. Just ask Fan Bingbing, right?
Explain to her what's happening.
Well, they're just not.
I don't think she can help.
No, don't worry.
Woman Chu Pashan. So they told us because we're foreigners we cannot climb. So we were able to talk to the office and they said come here, they will give us an exception so that we can go up the mountain. We're all living in China for a long time. But they still waiting, still trying to figure it out.
When are we leaving, or when we...
We're leaving tomorrow to return to our homes in China, different places. Yeah.
But we leave here in China.
Pick up a live stream to tell you guys where to go.
China.
Are you at the hospital or?
No.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
okay.
where they pay
Okay. It's okay.
That's the year.
Everybody knows why we're here. Even China Radio International.
He's married to a Chinese.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have extended our time here. We wouldn't have agreed.
She said, can you tell her we just want to go to the rooftop of the mountain? For one, who is this random girl anyways? You know, Just some random girl walks up to you on the street and she's like trying to check your official documents, you know. This stuff is none of her business. And you know, she said she doesn't work for the hospital. See, this is the kind of bullshit about why I left China. I got tired of this stuff, man. I got tired of like people coming up on me on the street and being like, hey, can I see your passport? Hey, where are you from? Like I'm being interrogated on the street by some old guy, you know? Because that's the thing about China. Everyone is always suspicious of foreigners because it goes back to communism where they've been told that if you see a foreigner doing something, just go ahead and turn him in. We're going to pay you some money, you know? Like I said, I've had people before say, hey, can I see your passport? And I'm like, hey, can you go piss up a river? Because you're not a police officer and I'm not going to show it to you. And then they make threats to call the police. It's like, go right ahead. I don't care. You see, this kind of stuff happens all the time. This girl asked to see their paperwork. Jayoe gives this look of, who the hell are you? And then all of a sudden, that's it, right? Who the hell are you? Why are you asking to see our paperwork? Happens all the time in China. That being said, to not be a broken record, I'm going to end the video here. But I'm glad some other foreigners, intentionally or not, are putting out these videos now so that people can see the real China, not that sugar-coated bullshit that they want you to believe. Unfortunately, they've all taken down their videos of them crying and complaining because they realize that it is dangerous for them. Okay, the danger is real, the fear is real. The government can arrest you in China for some videos that you've put up, interviewing people and things like that. It is unfortunate. They can and will arrest you for those things. If you like my videos, like, comment, subscribe. Check out my hashtag WTF China series on Twitter and Facebook, where I post those videos on there probably once or twice a week. You can support me on PayPal or Patreon. Of course, I don't need an entire team like Nathan Rich, but every little donation does help, and I do appreciate you all very much. Love you all. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.